Hello, hi, and welcome to a Bad Beany Gaming podcast, my first ever one. I'm sure it's going to go brilliantly. I have two guests with me today who have travelled all the way from upstairs and the room next door to this one to come and be a part of this.
Don't exaggerate.
Fine. That's fine. So, both of you say hi and introduce yourselves.
You can go first.
Go!
Hi lads!
This is my first podcast. You two already doing awkward silences. We're 1 minute in and you're both acting like we've run out of material.
Well, shut up and let me speak then, will you?
I'm sorry.
Pipe down.
On you go.
Hi lads. In case you didn't know, I'm Danny. I'm Beany's horrible girlfriend, apparently.
I'm Adam, I'm Beany's boyfriend.
It's a good, healthy household.
His wife's gone out. Give him a...
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, the plan was to do a podcast about gaming. So that is what we're going to do. So for the next hour, strap in, lads. This is going to be a wild ride.
Hour?
Yes, an hour. Danny, we discussed this.
No, we didn't. We had a vague discussion about chairs and slight topics. That's the only thing you discussed. You didn't give me a time frame. You didn't give me anything. You didn't even tell me it was YouTube and Mixer. You just said we're going to do a podcast.
It feels like something I'd have brought up.
It feels like something you would have, but it's something you haven't brought up. Just let me stress this to you. You haven't brought it up.
Okay.
Yeet, or whatever it is the kids say these
No,
days.
right. Gold Killer can get away with saying yeet.
I don't even know what yeet means. I have no idea what yeet means. Like, Matty tried to explain it to me, yeah? And I was like, please explain to me what yeet means, because I don't know. And he was like, well, it's supposed to mean like, shit, like go away.
You get occasional moments
but
in
people
life
just
when
say
like,
it as like yes now.
you do get moments in your life where like younger relatives make you suddenly feel like you're like 60 years old.
Well, I heard it was a Logan Paul thing, but I think that's just because I watched that Shane Dawson thing and he was also confused by yeet. So I think in my head I'm just like, yeah, yeet could mean anything, because I said yeet off the other day and my brother was like,
well, that's not where you're supposed to use it. You are not playing with the bad beanie buttons.
no beanie buttons. No one wants them. Trust.
I'm here on a podcast with the beloved people of my house. They get to play with my beanie buttons tonight. No beanie buttons from you
I
lot.
play with your beanie buttons every night. And you hate it, so...
Yes.
By the way, that is what your nipples are called now, by the way.
You're calling my nipples beanie buttons.
Yes.
I like it.
I don't hate it.
Let me just give one a
No, not doing a stream. So, give me 1 second. I will get my vape, my cup of tea. There we go. Because I don't think there's any chance of me spilling it over now.
Where's my drink gone? Oh, can you be bigger, boys?
Yeah, I'll be bigger, boy.
Joking.
So, for God's sake, Danny, you're such an ass.
Tesco's getting a free bit of advertising.
Right, so shall we try and do a podcast?
Well, yeah, we can.
Let's
that
get
was what we were here for. But
let's
okay.
get our heads down for the big moment. So,
Hang
I think we're streaming in the wrong place here, babe. I'm not going to lie.
Naughty.
Full beanie buttons and heads down now. This dream's really gone down.
Wow, you haven't propositioned me this well. For a
No,
while.
no, I really haven't, have I? So, let's start with the first topic, and that is
Anal.
yeah, okay.
I
Let's
mean, yeah,
go with anal.
let's talk of favourite methods of preparation, shall we?
Only
Adam?
on Tuesdays.
Join me on Twitch in 2 weeks' time when a whole bunch of anal emotes will be available on my channel.
Oh.
You took that too far.
As soon as I said it, I realised I'd crossed the line.
I know this is family friendly, but just
Family
friendly PG clean. Unless Beany's
it's
talking
just
about
not a
fingering.
healthy family, that's all. I'm going to be honest, this isn't how I expected to start the stream.
No, so anyway, was it PlayStation Classic? Let's do it, right?
Right, what I want to discuss first is what have we all been playing lately? Because all three of us have been going with the big budget classics.
Big boys.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with you.
Alright, me. Well, I am always playing the same three things. I have been playing the Fallout 76 beta when I've had time to, anyway.
Let's start with that, because this is...
Oh god, I can't finish the
No,
sentence,
don't finish
man.
the sentence, just list one at a time, but we've got to discuss. Let's start with Fallout 76.
Well, it's not really going to help. Adam's not played it.
It's alright, how was
What's
it?
going on? To begin with, so the first night it went up, I played it for about 4 hours. And it was really good. We had a few issues. So there was a few glitchy issues, standard Bethesda game problem, glitchy graphics. I encountered some Scorch which were T-posing the entire time, just like flying about like this, like they're in Gary's mod or whatever.
It was, I've got to admit, I was playing the Fallout Sensitive. In fact, I've probably played it more than you have, haven't I?
Yes.
And
I've been at work. Some of us have real jobs.
It is just the glitchiest thing I've ever come across.
Very glitchy. I mean,
You know, the only thing that worries me about that is that it's out in like what? 7 days?
They
8,
don't.
9 days.
They are not.
I
gonna
can't
have-
comment because I've not seen
Well,
it.
they
But
have,
you
'cause-
two have said it's glitchy as fuck, and it's out in 7
Well,
days.
they seem to have
Quite painfully.
So I went to play it last night when I got home to shoot some stuff because I had a very bad day at work. And it had deleted itself off of my PlayStation.
It hates you that much.
Then I re-downloaded it today. So to begin with, when I installed the beta, it was 92 gigs, and I've reinstalled it today, and it was 47. So I don't know if they've maybe redone and patched
They might.
the beta for PS4 at least.
They might well have done. I mean, in Bethesda's defence, they did put. Everyone had this problem where they installed it.
Yeah, but that was
and
only
then
for
they
PC.
deleted it.
That was only PC. That wasn't anything else.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say Bethesda at least put their hands up.
Yeah,
and
it was
went, bad on
Bethesda.
that
Bethesda launcher deleted it. Yeah, that's why they gave us a 9-hour beta.
Bethesda.
Well, Bethesda's well known for shitey graphics. I'm sorry, Lord Todd Howard. Please don't hate me. I love you.
And again,
But,
to be fair, when Fallout 4 first came out, I think, if I remember right, people massively complained about how
Yes.
buggy it was.
Well, to be fair, we had it when it first came out. We got it like 3 days after it came out.
And it was
buggy as fuck. But it is also still buggy. It's not like you don't get chairs and people don't get stuck in walls and stuff. Like it's like that, and you know, people would say it's you know, it's endearing or whatever, but it's also really super annoying. So I'm not surprised with online servers because they're not known for online games, Bethesda, apart from Elder Scrolls Online, but everything else has been very much single player games. They've made that their thing.
But this has become a problem now with online gaming in general. Is that once you've put it up there, if you're playing a game that isn't online, if there are issues, they can sort of gradually fix
Yeah, you
them
can
one
just
by
patch
one.
it,
They do
that's
a
not
patch
too
and
bad,
go.
yeah.
As far as we knew, this was the only problem, knowing full well there's a whole batch of them. But you can go, right, we fixed this one, we
patched
fixed
it,
this one.
yeah.
If it's an online game, it's got to be perfect.
Well, I don't think it does. I don't think it has to be perfect, but I do think it needs to work. I mean I've come across a lot of enemies that I came out of a door. Okay, I was doing a quest to find some overseer's logs. Spoilers, guys, you got to find the overseer, right? And I came out of a door and I was confused briefly because there was just a thing kind of hanging. The same glitch, by the way, guys, if you swap from first person into third person, happens where when you sit and wait, you can see inside your own face.
Which is, I mean, you've seen that on a lot of other games, and that glitch is always a special kind of horrifying.
Yeah, I mean, being able to see the back of your eyes is never very good, but that still happens. But I came out of this door, and I came out, and there was just a thing hanging. I was like, what the fuck? I opened the door. This Scorched is just there, but just head. Then he shot me, and the rest of him just sort of rendered in gradually, and I was like, I don't think I had a fair chance here somehow. I just appeared in the middle of this Scorched. Yeah, so it's been really good. The storyline seems pretty good. It has been really good. I have really enjoyed it, but I think, pardon me, it's going to get a little bit samey. I really miss having NPCs. I mean, I love robots. I love a Protectron.
That's the only thing I've seen on social media
Yeah,
the last couple of days is people saying they miss NPCs.
I do.
And it's a bit of an issue.
See, I had a thing where I played it the entire time. Literally every minute that I was able to play the beta, I've been playing it. And my God, I miss having conversations with people. I would take Preston at this point, as annoying as he is. I would have actually welcomed seeing someone as annoying as Preston. There's one NPC in the game, and I met him.
There's no human NPCs.
There's no human NPC, I'll give you that. But there's a guy, there's a mutant on there called Graham, and he is the
That's
most...
literally what I did. I was like, Graham? Who calls
And-
anything Graham?
He was just the greatest character I've ever seen because he just starts
Bethesda.
he starts going on about all the things he's got for sale and how he's not there to hurt you because he wants to trade, and starts listing every kind of meat he can think of. And this goes on for like 3 or 4 minutes.
Stringy meat.
Where he starts going, yeah, fresh meat, rotten meat, hickory meat, fishy meat, chewy meat.
It's like you when you're hungry.
Meaty meat. And it literally goes on for like 4 or 5 minutes, but it was possibly like the best 4 or 5 minutes I've ever had on any Fallout game. Because it's just the most likeable. But I don't think I'd have appreciated it so much if there were other NPCs there. They need NPCs, even if they can't be killed, can't be destroyed. You can't change like the friend or foe thing on it. They do need something.
My main issue with I mean, I love robots in Fallout 4. They're great. They're a bit of a novelty. I love Protectrons. They're super cute and mental, and I love Mr. Handies and Miss Nannies, and that's great. That's very Fallout. But I really miss companions. I also don't like that you don't have dialogue options.
Gold Killer, thank you. Gold Killer, thank you so much for the host, buddy. Shouted that as if he was all the way over there. Sorry, I could have just talked into the...
Thanks, mate. See you, cheers. It was really good, but I am very tired of escorting Mr. Handies around the fucking wasteland. I'm tired of Protectrons Mr. Fluffy was an experience, but also I had some problems where my camp didn't work, so I built a camp, I saved it, whatever. Did a few missions, came back, and my camp doesn't open anymore. It's just there. I have no stuff in it. Like my inventory is still there, but none of the shit that I built is there.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had something quite similar, but mine was a lot simpler than that. The camp was there, and then I loaded the game up again, and the camp wasn't there, and I had to rebuild the entire thing.
Yeah, I did. That's exactly what I did, basically.
But you have to rebuild it. They don't just sort of give you the pieces. They give you the entire
the blueprint
unit
thing.
Yeah, but that's what they did. But they basically said, "Here's your entire building," and I was like, "Okay, that's great. I can just plonk that down." No, you can't put it anywhere because I built it very specifically in the first place
to fit in a certain place.
Fit in that particular place, and that place isn't compatible with anything else. So that's going to be, again, an infuriating thing.
But don't panic, because the game isn't out until next week!
That's exactly... Edders, thank you so much for subscribing, by the way, buddy.
I'm not.
But, sorry, I was just going to make a quick point here, and that's, that sort of stuff is the kind of nuanced stuff that they can iron out. There's nothing wrong with that. The basics of the game, there are massive, massive problems. And I think one of the biggest ones is the feeling of true emptiness if you're not playing with your mates.
That's one of my problems. I mean, I played with a couple of girls. One of the...
Sorry.
Grown man!
I played the game with some girls from one of the Fallout groups on Facebook, and they were in Australia, and we were just chatting about the game and stuff, and that was fine. It was quite fun, but at the same time, it's really difficult when you're used to playing by yourself. I enjoy playing Fallout games and just playing however the fuck I like, but it's really difficult to then have to like drag other people with you to do shit, especially if you're in different parts of the game, because obviously you won't play with the same people all the time, so you're going to be at different stages, so you'll be doing different quests, different areas you want to explore. So, and some people might have done a bit that you've already done, which then gets really boring because you then have to rehash the same quest again.
I think Sea of Thieves had the same problem because when it first came out, everyone was like, "This is such an amazing game." I remember telling you I couldn't wait to buy it.
Well, we watched Summit play it in beta, didn't we?
Summit 1G was the first person we saw play it, and it just looked like so much fun. And I was saying, can you imagine streaming this, like a group of us off on adventures, being a pirate? It sounded amazing. But it's another of those sort of what they call like miles long, inches deep kind of games.
Yeah.
Where ultimately there's nothing to do. Once you've done the initial bit.
That's my problem is, also when you're at a low level, they give you a lot of obviously base quests and stuff to do. But if you're less than a level 10 and you get a quest to say go to Grafton and help the mayor where you have to kill a fucking great big monster, you're dead, mate. You're dead. Your weapons degrade, that's fine, that's a nice throwback to like New Vegas and Fallout 3, but when you've got 9,000 pipe pistols, all of which are degraded to fuck, then you're not, what are you going to be able to kill? Nothing.
And I'm the sort of player, I'm what did Oxhorn call it? A rat pack.
Yeah.
A pack rat.
Pack rat.
I'm a pack rat. I'm the sort of person where it's like, there's teaspoons. I must collect the teaspoons.
Imagine stealing the teaspoons.
I can't overlook picking up these precious teaspoons because later I'll be able to build a wall.
Fallout's weird.
It's great. There is no game on earth where you could pick up 4 teaspoons and build a wall from it.
Right.
It's just...
Bear with me here, Harry Kane. I'm going to check that you're live on YouTube because otherwise he's going to have some sort of nervous breakdown.
Yeah, I think we owe him that. He's quite trustworthy when it comes to this sort of thing.
Someone just called you daddy and I've never been so aroused in my life.
Think fast. Let's go, man.
Harry Kane's correct.
Damn it! I hate it when Hennes is right.
I didn't get a notification either, which I usually do.
Yeah, should have listened to the warning signs.
Just turn it
There's
off.
a big...
Statuses are not supported for this platform.
You silly goose.
What does it mean by that?
I don't know.
What could that possibly mean? Am I going to have to stop and start?
No, don't stop and start.
That's not
Just
it.
leave it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are having a stream exclusive to Mixer.
Yes!
Someone tell Xbox.
Phone Bill Gates immediately!
He's dead. Too soon.
For
When
God's
did
sake,
he
that was
die?
dark.
It's not dead. I was thinking of the other one.
Did I miss that you meant Steve Jobs? Fuck Apple, mate. Right, so anyway, games. But
Yeah.
yes, Fallout 76. Overall, I enjoy it, but I'm worried I'll get bored. I miss NPCs. I can't fantasise over robots. It's just not any good. It's not. You know, there's no deacon. There's no paladin dance. There's not even Preston telling me about settlements or shit. So, I'm pretty bored. I can't romance a robot. Can't even romance Codsworth in Fallout 4. Like they're so fucking bigoted. It's unreal.
I have to admit, I was going to buy it unconditionally. I was going to buy it. I'd well and truly set my heart on it. I don't think I'm going to.
I was
now.
going to say,
I'm not
you
100.
said the first day you were like, I'm going to buy
Fallout
it.
Cup of War!
don't-
Action! Go! Live!
To be fair, though,
Argue!
to be fair, I did pre-order the Power Armor edition straight away after E3, and I've now cancelled the pre-order because I don't want to spend £175 on it.
But 170 quid.
£174.99.
Why a special edition? Anything's
You
174
get a Power
quid.
Armor voice changing head and a glow in the fucking dark maps on.
You could buy like
But
100 Xbox 360 games for
yeah,
that.
I chose to buy Pops.
Easily.
Chose to buy Pops instead.
Is Fallout 76 4K? It will be.
It will be, yeah.
It will be. And there is no computer on Earth that will handle it. I was playing on 1080 at first and I got 6 frames a second. So I downgraded the graphics to 720 and it's went up to about 15 frames a second. So I had to scrap the graphics down to medium. And medium, they haven't even rendered water.
Yes.
I was literally, all water was just blank.
Even the PS4, to be fair, was struggling
Oh, was it?
with water rendering. When sometimes there was water, sometimes there was just big patches in the middle that hadn't like rendered in, or there was a horrible like god ray like across the water, so you couldn't actually see anything. It was pretty shit.
Mine was literally white. It wasn't like white with like particles. It was literally just.
I am.
Good job, Bethesda!
Yeah.
I'm
Well, this is basics.
mildly disappointed, but there's always Red Dead. Do you know what I mean?
On that subject, changing the subject.
Yo, moving on!
Adam, what have you been playing this
I've been
week?
playing me some Red Dead 2.
Okay, what is your opinion on Red Dead? Because both of you have now got Red Dead.
Such a good game.
Today, I was talking about it today because I texted Liam at work the other day and was like, have you bought Red Dead yet? Because he was like, Red Dead's coming out. Cowboy the shout out some stuff. He was like, I've already been killed by like all of Valentine, so I accidentally ran into a man and then became wanted about 3 seconds into the game. But he thinks it's amazing. Everyone that's played it has said it's amazing.
I just think it's a bit overwhelming.
I agree, actually, because
And a lot of people have said this.
my main issue with it, as much as I'm enjoying it, is that there is just the knowledge of the amount of hours there are of just story, never mind like side quests and all the rest of it, and the vastness of the map. Even just when you've only discovered 3 places, the length of time it takes to get places. Also, the controls are a bit janky, but I'm sure I can probably work that out eventually. It's just because I'm really anally retentive about how I play games.
See, one of the few things that I've got is that normally I love playing games. I'm all about gameplay, but it's one of the few games where I've probably watched Adam play Red Dead for like 8 hours in all, and I've watched you play for 2 or 3. And just as someone who was watching, I wasn't bored in the slightest.
No, I watched Adam play the other day.
Genuinely enjoyed just watching people play Red Dead. It's one of those games where if someone streamed it, I would seriously. I don't like watching sort of people's streams unless it's something high action. But something like Red Dead, the storylines in it are so deep, even the side quests, that I found myself completely absorbed in it.
It's not even that. It's the only game I've played which is an open world game where it actually feels like
it's an
everyone in that world they're going around doing their own thing.
Yeah.
And that's pretty incredible. I've come across some funny shit the game. It doesn't feel like it just feels like they are literally, no matter what you do, they're going about their own shit.
Yeah.
Like anywhere you go.
And I think that
it is. I think it's unfortunate timing that it is now the polar opposite of Fallout 76.
I was literally about to draw
this
the
is
parallel.
How you do an open.
It's so weird
this is how you do an open world game.
This is how you do an open world game.
It's like this is how you watch people interact. This is what people want.
Everything's going to be judged by this now.
Yeah, Fallout 76. You want to know about the lore. You want to know about the story, but you want to live the stories. You don't just want to go. Here's a holotape explaining something really exciting that happened ages ago.
The fact the holotape's autoplay enrages me massively.
I'll tell you what, we'll come back to Fallout, but Red Dead...
I don't know what that means.
Well, the only problem with this game is we're all going to start doing impressions of cowboys real bad.
I mean, Red Dead, you have to wash, and you have to eat, and you have to clean your gun, and...
shave your face.
A lot of people are finding it very monotonous, like that the level of realism is a bit too much for them.
This is the problem they had with... I mean, they've had several games like this in the past. If you want a really good example of this, I would say The Sims. Now, The Sims itself is a lot of fun if you want it to be. I mean, there's plenty of people who don't like The Sims, but you can totally get the appeal. But what you enjoy about it is is going to work, training yourself up, and
putting them in a pool, taking out the ladder.
But
letting them drown.
Parts that irritate you are like, I need to schedule toilet breaks for my character. I need to decide when they have a bath and stuff like that. And it's like that's starting to feel like work. It no longer feels like you're playing a game.
Well, I think this is the problem, isn't it? This is where the argument about do video games scar kids, etc. is that blur between gaming and reality. Can you separate the two? Because I mean, if you have to shit, piss, shave your face, have a wash, change your pants, I mean, and you haven't got up, shit, pissed, or changed your pants while you're playing the game, it is a level of immersion, really, isn't it? That you
feels like almost like a life imitating art there, doesn't it?
Well, it's you, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I'm the sort of person where I'll be playing a game like The Sims and saying my character really needs the toilet. He really needs to go to the toilet.
Red Dead multiplayer is coming. Red Dead Online.
Yeah, it's coming. Red Dead Online's next month, I think.
Is it really?
Month.
Yeah, they're working on it, and that's going to be in.
I think that could spoil it. I'm going to stick my neck out here and say I think that could spoil it.
No, because it'll be like GTA Online, where it is actually wholly separate from.
I remember playing Red Dead Online on the 360 on the first one, and like getting in a posse with like 4 people, and like just going to do like side quests and taking on that. It was amazing. So this, I think, will be incredible.
Yeah, it's not like GTA 5, right? Where you bring people in. Like Red Dead Online it's the same map and shit, but it's like separate from your single player thing. You don't lose or gain anything from playing.
Answer this, and I'm not too sure if this is a big profound question or not. Would all 4 of you be Arthur?
No.
I mean, I love Arthur.
Yeah, but would all 4 of you be
Arthur? But
I've
played too much. I think I've played too much Overwatch, and now I've got a terrible cowboy fetish.
I'm not too sure if I'm asking.
To do with that.
I'm not sure if I'm asking a profound question or not here. But would it be 4 Arthurs marching into a town together? Because after having so much immersion,
I'd be Hosea, mate. He's a badass. You're an angry old man.
The idea of a town full of Arthurs. It just feels like that might break it slightly.
Too much sass in one place. Arthur is sassy as fuck. I heard you can make your own character and you can do the same clothes store in the Barbie. Well, there you go then. That's pretty golden.
Okay, well then that's got some potential. I've found the idea of just a whole bunch of Arthurs walking into town just far too ridiculous.
God, shit on
yeah, okay, if that's the case, then that could work.
There was a snake in my boots.
That's Toy
Somebody poisoned the waterhole. I want to be Woody. Red Dead 2 Online. I'm fucking rocking up as Woody. No, Rexy. Right?
I want to be Ham.
You had me at Woody.
Oh, come on!
Oh dear.
Done. Doing it.
What has happened to this podcast?
Yeehaw! So this week I've also been playing Overwatch because I don't know if you guys know, it was BlizzCon this weekend. So yeah, we got Diablo Mobile, which no one gives a shit about. No one gave a shit. WoW Classic is coming back, so you can now pay money to play a game that you owned when you paid 40 quid for it in 2000.
Yeah, why have they done that?
Because everyone complained, because they took the servers down, everyone moaned, bought private servers to play WoW Classic on, so now basically they've seen it as a money-making opportunity because Activision, Blizzard aren't really Blizzard
So
anymore.
this is all they've done is just turn the machine back on?
Basically, yes.
Improve
the servers.
Yeah, it's literally money. Of course it's money.
I think they've remastered it a little bit, but anyway, Overwatch is the relevant part. So we got a new hero called Ash. I don't know if anyone watched the animated short, and also the possibility of Hero 30, which would be, fuck me, what's it called? Echo, that weird robot fucking thing that McCree releases from a pod at the end of the short.
I can't work out if their timing has been brilliant or terrible with this new Overwatch character.
Wholly brilliant.
Is it?
To be fair,
do you think it was deliberate?
No,
the fact that they've come out with a cowgirl.
No, they released. To be fair, at the beginning of the year, after Wrecking Ball was released, they said that they would. They announced who was like the poster boy for BlizzCon, because they have like one character every year for the short. So I think it was Sombra, and then she got a short, and then Moira because she was the new release and you knew about it before BlizzCon. So it was McCree this year, so you knew it would have something to do with McCree. Like months and months ago, obviously that Red Dead's release date has moved twice since then.
That's true.
So I think it's either great timing or just coincidence timing.
It just feels like cowboys and Wild West seems to be a bit of a theme at the moment. So them doing that felt suspiciously good timing.
So she looks pretty badass. Got shotguns, got a knockback thingy. Bob, who's her ultimate, which is an Omnic with a moustache, looks fucking sick.
Gaia.
Looks pretty sick. She looks pretty badass. So yeah, I'm really hyped for that. I love Overwatch. I'm massively into it. We need more Reaper lore, really. I've been watching a lot of TGN on YouTube recently. TGN's good, but we need like more than 8-minute videos. That would be great. We're now on 20. This will be 29.
I don't think they have any problem with the lore, but you mentioned it the other day, and I completely agree with you on this. There's nowhere on YouTube to find it. You take something like Fallout, and you've got Oxhorn, who is like
you've got
the encyclopedia of Fallout.
Yeah,
he just knows
the Epic
every story.
And oh my god, something Juice. I can't remember what his name is, but all three of those do lore. Oxhorn is obviously the peak. Love him.
Oxhorn is the most ridiculous looking character. I absolutely love him. He doesn't look real. Honestly, he looks like a made-up character in Fallout.
He's the most fabulous person I've ever seen.
He's truly magnificent.
Steampunk legend.
Yeah, proper steampunk. He's got a big Amish beard, he's got a proper Amish beard, and he wears suspenders and a little bowler hat, and he drinks
cigars and he drinks scotch.
Smokes cigars and drinks whiskey, and he's an absolute champ. I absolutely love him. I think he's great.
Love him. He's got a massively soothing voice as well.
But he does look invented. He looks like a character in Fallout.
But the Overwatch lore is lacking in places. If you want to find it, you have to buy like the Overwatch books, and you have to go on the Overwatch website and read through like character profiles, and you have to read the comics. But they've only made one. You can't see my hand. One anthology of the comics, so you can't. It's not like you can get them all together. They're mostly online as well. So I'm happy about the fact we've got a new hero coming out. She looks pretty badass. There's another DPS character though, could do with a new tank that isn't Wrecking Ball, because as much as he's a cute little hamster boy, he is not great and really difficult to use. probably could use another healer because I think we're lacking there. Though we got Moira quite relatively recently within the last year. But more lore for Overwatch would be great.
I think in the last 10 minutes I've understood about 15 seconds of
course
what
you have,
said.
because you don't play it.
I'll be honest, when I was sat in a room with you two, I didn't think you were the one who was going to make me feel out of my depth. I really thought Adam was going to come out in detail on something and I would be too confused and I'd just sit back and go, yeah, it sounds right.
Anyway, it's all about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Not that we've played that, Adam played the
He likes it.
It looked
It's fine.
relatively
It was
decent.
great. I have to say, I think it was... They've taken they've not even been subtle. They have stolen the best bits of every game and made their own games out of it. So...
Even Mario.
Oh, wouldn't that have been something? It's the only thing they didn't do.
Mario meets Siege.
You've got to shoot everyone, but please collect all these stars and coins.
That could work.
Black Ops, Rainbow Road.
Black Ops 64, come on.
When you see someone running towards you and you think, right, I've got him, I've got the shot, and then he suddenly goes, do.
I can't hit him!
No, run!
But that looks sick, to be fair. Maybe we should invest in that instead of Fallout. What else do you want to talk about? PlayStation Classic?
Yes. So, Adam, you told me about this. PlayStation Mini, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is coming out. When is that coming out? Do you know?
December.
It's coming out in December.
Yeah, it's annoyed a lot of people.
Should we all just chip in and buy one?
Well, no, because there's like 20 games on the system, but each region, as in Japan, North America, Europe, are getting different games. And
really?
I'd say the Japanese area is getting the best games. I think we're getting shafted.
What are they getting compared?
You'll have to bring up the list, but if you think of like top 20 PS1 games in Europe, I think you'd be disappointed with the list. Yeah, it's not great.
This is one thing that's really disappointed me.
But everyone's going to hack it, and you could probably put every PS1 game on it,
and that's going to be the important bit, because I had this problem before whenever they release these minis, and they'll go, well, due to licensing restrictions, we've only had access to these 10 games, so it's going to be these 10 games from this system. Yeah. And it's like, well, if it's the best 10, and they'll go, yeah, about that, most of them aren't. Most of them are just any old crap we could get our hands on that we were actually licensed.
If Danny brings up the 20 games that are coming out in Europe, like... There's a few good ones, like you've got Metal Gear, the first one, brilliant. You've got like Tekken 3.
Because, should we discuss the
SNES?
Yeah, let's...
discuss it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So, Adam's got one of the little SNES things, and it's so cute. They got just SNES the Mini. Cutest little thing.
Love the 20 games that came with it.
It came with 20 games.
Which were great.
All 20 were, well, a couple of them are good. But they wouldn't be my first choice.
Yeah.
Luckily...
I got paid someone on eBay to put everything on it, and now we have like 600 games on it.
Yes, so Adam has basically found someone who gave it a bit of a tweak, and we now have access to hundreds and hundreds of games. And suddenly it's gone from being, it's alright I suppose, to being absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Here we go. So here's the list. I mean, I wouldn't say that any of those games whatsoever, apart from maybe Metal Gear Solid and GTA Classic.
I would say if you took all of those regions and had a system with all of those on it,
that'd be amazing.
That would actually be pretty awesome.
It's going to get hacked.
Why they've chosen? Of course they're going to hack it. If they don't, I will find a way of doing it.
In my opinion, none of those games are, apart from Metal Gear, Resident Evil, and GTA, are ones that I would even ever have played on the PlayStation. I played my fucking PlayStation like it was going to break on the next day and had to fucking pump it as hard as humanly possible.
PlayStation's probably the only console I've ever owned. No, full stop. I think it's certainly the first console I owned, and I had I'm older than I look. A lot of consoles passed me by, and I didn't care about any of them. PlayStation Classic is basically Xbox backwards compatibility, but with a stupid way of doing it. Yeah, effectively. Yeah. But that doesn't make it a bad thing.
It doesn't make it shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, okay, it's a bit dumb, but the alternative is not having one.
So in my opinion, my top games to put on it. I mean, obviously they're not going to put Crash Bandicoot on there because they've already remastered it for PS4. So that would be stupid.
Yeah, they'd be annihilating their own income doing that.
So I mean, Crash Bandicoot's obviously one of the best games for the original PlayStation ever. Where's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
I want Dino Crisis.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Tony Hawk, what a great game.
Pro Skater 2 is one of the best games for PlayStation. The soundtrack was insanely good. It was fucking brilliant. Horse. Who didn't love playing Horse? What a fucking game. Why is that not on there?
And what game did you just say? Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis.
It was Resident
one of those
Evil
games where everyone talks about it. I've never even seen the game.
It was Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
Was it really?
It's made by Capcom, yeah. It's amazing.
If there's ever a game that sounds like it should be rebooted, it's that.
Yeah. They still, yeah.
Where is Colin McRae Rally?
I remember
game.
You talked about that a year ago, like it's some genuinely treasured childhood memory.
Colin McRae Rally.
You talk about that game like your first kiss.
It was better than my first kiss.
Well, yeah, like other people talk about their first kiss.
Colin McRae Rally and also Formula 1 games. No, you lot won't remember. You're too fucking young. You used to get...
Don't automatically assume that, because this is also... Okay, I'm recording this, so it will be going on YouTube further down the line.
When the PlayStation 1 came out, you could get steering wheels and pedals to play racing games. It didn't work for Colin McRae Rally, only Formula 1 games, which I also used to play. But Colin McRae Rally was great. You could just go super fast, jump over shit, crash your car, plough into spectators...
Right, so you two have named your favourite PlayStation games. Bear in mind that the PlayStation's the first console I went out and bought. And it was for one game, and I still don't know.
Oh, Worms!
It's a game that I don't think has ever been matched. And it's because there was nothing like it, and that was Gran Turismo, the first Gran Turismo.
They bought a new one out, haven't they, recently? So they're not. This is the thing. They won't put games that they've released sequels to recently on a classic console.
No, it'd be insane for them to do it.
It would be stupid. And also with PS Now, they won't.
Yes, that's very true. That's very true. But in terms of Gran Turismo, what was so impressive about it was there'd been loads of racing games around about that time, been quite a few sort of big graphics racing games. But it was the diversity of the game. You had like 80 tracks. You had to go through this whole... It was almost like a career mode.
Yeah.
And then you had a bit where, to get to the next set of cars, you had to pass like a driving license.
Yeah.
And to do that, you had to do like go full pelt and then hit the... go from it like 0 to 200 to 0 again in the length of a track. And the amount of time I used to spend with like me and my mates, a few beers, just ploughing through that, all take it in turns. There must have been like 8 or 9 of us all taking
that's what we used to do.
In turns.
We used to go to...
But no,
we used to go... There was only... Before I got a PlayStation, we had one friend that had a PlayStation, right? So someone had a PlayStation 1 down my road when I was a child. We had one person's house who had a PlayStation, and they had the pedals and the wheel for the PlayStation, so we used to go around there, play Formula 1, and we used to play Tony Hawk's and do the time trials on Colin McRae. And then by the time I was like, I must have been 11 when the PlayStation 2 came out.
I'm curious in chat, actually, while you're having this conversation, does anyone else still have this, where they go round their friends, not so much because they're friends, but because they've got that game or got that console? Because I did the same thing. Me and my friends all used to go around my mate's house, and I say mate quite wrongly, I don't even remember the guy's name. And the only reason we went round there was because he had Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, I was going to say...
And that was every lunch for the best part of 2 years. We spent going round there and playing Street Fighter.
We used to go around my friend Emma's house because not even her older brother got the PlayStation 2 when it first came out. Pat must have been about, I would say, 18 or 19 at the time.
Yeah.
So he bought a PlayStation 2 with like his paycheck from Blockbuster. He got discounts, so he got a PlayStation 2 bundle and got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for PlayStation 2. So we used to go around her house when Pat was at work to go and play his PlayStation in his bedroom. And he would come back from work and be like, why are there 11 and 12-year-olds in my house? Go away.
But yeah, when I was younger, I had no interest in consoles, but you were the opposite, weren't you? You were massively into consoles when you were younger?
But one at a time. I never had like everything. I always had like one console at a time. So I had the N64 like a year after it came out.
Yeah.
So I had all the friends coming around playing GoldenEye.
GoldenEye.
Yeah, we used to go to Rhiannon's house for GoldenEye because her brother had one.
Danny, can you pass me the 100? Why are we doing that? Yeah. The fuck you do that? Because GoldenEye had a theme tune and the woman had the most amazing voice, and we're really weird.
She did. Wasn't that Tina Turner?
I want to say Shirley Bassey, but it could have been Tina Turner.
I don't remember. But yeah, PlayStation Mini. I'll probably get one as long as I can hack it and put my own games on it.
I think it might be worth trying to find that in advance
because I don't just want the 20 games that are on there. Yes, I think some of the games are good, but I'd like the whole PlayStation 1 library.
So yeah, when I was younger, there was a game I was massively into, and spent all of my spare time playing. That game was
Barbie Racing.
Barbie Racing. No, it was Theme Hospital. And recently they've made a game called 2 Point Hospital, and I got it within seconds of remembering that it actually came out, and I'm really enjoying it. And it's because they've not even tried to hide the fact that it's a rip-off. They've basically gone, we're going to recreate this game. I'm curious with you two, if you could ask for any game to be redone from when you were younger, what game would you want?
A remake?
Yeah, what remake would you like?
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim is the best.
Earthworm Jim.
To be fair. I would have said Worms, but they've already made like 9,000 Worms games.
And that's been the thing. They keep making Worms, and none of them work as well as the early ones.
Lemmings.
Oh, what a great game!
Yeah, Lemmings.
That would make a good remake.
Yeah,
I think they did remake Lemmings.
Well, they kept making. They released several sequels like in those couple of years.
Great.
Like it was like 2-3 years where like Lemmings 2 came out. Lemmings 2 was really good. And then they never bothered. But it's one of the all-time classics. And I actually think that doing a reboot of Lemmings could totally work.
I don't know.
Especially now that
put it on an iPad, put it on
designing
phones.
Like level designers have become a thing. So you could actually make your own levels on Lemmings.
Like the chicken. Animal Super Squad.
Yeah, literally that, yeah.
I don't really know which game I'd choose. Maybe SSX Tricky. That was
a wonderful game. One of the best soundtracks in any game. Yeah. I would stick my neck out and say one of the best soundtracks ever. Or
just to remake all the early Harry Potter games where everyone doesn't have square hands.
Yeah, this has been Danny's been bringing this up a lot. So Danny used to be obsessed with which Harry Potter game was it?
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, because I completed Philosopher's Stone. That was okay.
Yeah,
so PlayStation 1.
So if I manage to do editing quite well, as we're speaking, I'm going to make sure that footage from this game appears.
Square hands.
But Danny is obsessed with the fact that they all had oversized square hands.
They did. Their hands were massive. Like it was like their hands were just one big finger, and they just had like this plate shovel giant hands. And obviously in Harry Potter they're all kids, so they're tiny people with these big square shovel hands. And because the graphics were so terrible, it looked like it'd been designed by Bethesda. Ron Weasley would like crop into bushes and stuff with his big square hands, and I got stuck on this level where you had to go and find mandrakes or some shit for ages and ages and ages, and you basically were just stuck in this bush trying to pick a mandrake with your big shovel hands, getting stuck flailing about. It was ridiculous.
Isn't it amazing? Because we're all like,
my wee time.
Everyone else is at the age where they're going like, oh my god, look at some of the improvements in gaming now. You know, you've got anti-aliasing and you've got this and you've got ray particles and things like that. And for us, it's like, they've got the hang of fingers. They've actually nailed working out fingers.
Hands and fingers. Proportional body sizes.
Because some of them were awful. I think two of the things that were really impressive over the years, and we were like, oh, I'm so glad they managed to sort that out, were fingers and faces. Because faces, if you ever watch... Adam's bloody gone away for a minute now. But ever watch like GoldenEye and things like that? See, it's that addictive though, isn't it?
Yep.
If you know the song, you'll know. But old games like that, look at the characters' faces. Like I said, I'm gonna edit this and make sure that you get several examples of it, because it was horrifically bad. Sims 1 faces were the best. No, you exactly nailed it. Because people will say now games like Roblox, and it's like, oh my god, everything's so basic on it. But if you look at the faces on Roblox, it's no different to like the Sims 1 or, as I was just saying, Adam, GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
GoldenEye faces were terrifying.
Cube faces.
Blocks.
Cube faces. You got a big square like scalp.
Yeah.
Big like square bits.
Mm-hmm.
Like sort of like my face, where it goes out like that and then just massively.
But no, don't forget, Sims 1 was groundbreaking. People were talking about how brilliant the graphics were.
I didn't really get into it until Sims 2, and then after that dropped drastically out of
the
it
Sims
again,
1
was boring.
Sims 1, I think, is probably responsible for me losing several jobs, if I'm honest with you, because I really enjoyed the Sims 1. I thought that was a fantastic game.
Sorry if you guys can't see anything anymore, by the way, because fucking vaping.
Because he's behind the vape, because it hasn't occurred to Danny to blow it anywhere other than straight at the camera.
just slowly vanishing.
That's where I'm sitting.
There's like 350 degrees of room that you could have blown the vape into, and you keep just popping it straight down the camera's throat. Do you remember when this was supposed to be a podcast? It's descended in. We have gone full IRL.
It's turned into rude comments.
That is how
I said end the pod while it was all on topic, and now we're just reading shit.
To be fair, earlier than an hour this disintegrates.
Beta.
That's the British spelling of sulfate. The now universal spelling of sulfate is sulfate with an F instead of a PH, which they've changed in the last couple of years. Where you read your shampoo bottle while you're going for a poo and you've got no actual phone or whatever, you now notice they spell sulfate with an S.
What is this madness? Right, when I started this stream, I had like
he'll lose.
I had about 9 subjects that I was going to cover, and so far we have covered exactly 0 of them. And I don't think the idea of the pronunciation or spelling of sulfate was ever on that list. I'm very glad we've done it.
This is the science teacher that also burnt a hole in our floor trying to do a thermite reaction and fucking it up massively.
I'm not going to lie, most of this isn't going to make it into the video, but there will be a separate video just full of balls like this.
Anyway, this has been fun.
This has been fun. We're going to wrap it up here after achieving absolutely nothing.
A nice chicken wrap.
So yeah, I'm going to be editing this video very, very heavily.
Forever.
Like really heavily, and knowing my editing, it will be up in about 6 months' time. But no, like I said, we didn't cover any of the things that I was going to cover, so we are going to go back to all of these conversations. We're going to do it properly. No, seriously, everyone, I've really enjoyed it. It's been a train wreck, but I have actually enjoyed it. Hope you lot have as well. Join me soon when I will try and work out the fragments of what exactly happened here tonight. So goodbye from these two. Say goodbye.
Bye.
All right, see you all soon, everyone. Bye.